Welcome to Vegan A Go Go. This is a vegan cooking show. My name is Jess, and today we're going to be making some blueberry pancakes. And so right now I've got my wet and dry ingredients all established here, so we're just going to combine things together. And instead of eggs today, we're going to be using flax seeds and water. And I have some ground flax seeds. We're going to blend those up with the water, and that will help to increase the moisture and substitute for the eggs. You can use whatever egg substitute you're familiar with. In fact, if you'd like to change the recipe up a little bit, you can make banana nut pancakes and use pureed bananas instead of flax seeds and water. So we're going to get started. I've got my flour, and we're just going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. And so I've got some baking powder, and all the measurements and everything can be found on the Vegan A Go Go website. That was some sugar. We have some salt. And we're just going to blend that up together. And just give that a quick stir. Okay, so we're just going to set this aside for a few minutes while we work on our wet ingredients. And so I've got some vanilla and some soy milk. You can use any kind of non-dairy beverage type milk that you'd like, so almond milk, rice milk, etc. We'll add that in just another minute or so. So right now I've got a 1/4 cup of water, and I've also got 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. These are ground flax seeds, and I'm just going to use my little stick blender and give us a whir for a brief minute. Okay, so just like 30 seconds or so. And what I'm going to do is add my 1½ cups of the soy milk. Blend that up again. Okay, so it's all blended. Just going to set this aside. Okay, and then we also need a teaspoon of vanilla. Throw that in there. Okay. All right, so we're going to combine those with our dry ingredients. And of course you can add more or less depending on how thick you like your pancakes. We tend to like ours on the thick side, but you want to make sure that the pancake batter is at least pourable onto your pan. And you want to just combine the ingredients. You don't want this to be completely smooth. Get all our flax seeds out. Okay, looking pretty good. All right, so now I'm just going to fold in our blueberries. And these are, I've frozen blueberries that I've thawed. You can use fresh blueberries if you'd like. And again, if you want to change the recipe up, you can always do nuts or, raisins, whatever. Okay, so we're going to move this over to the stove and start cooking our pancakes. Okay, so our batter is ready to go. I got my pan warmed, and I just put a little oil on here to kind of season the pan and oil it up a little bit, make it a little easier to work with. What I'm going to do is I'll just make some pancakes, and I'll show you the end result. But a lot of times you have a bunch of pancakes and you want to keep them warm. I don't know about you, I've got this tortilla warmer, and I think that would work perfectly. So if you'd like to, and you have one, you don't use it very often, this would be a great way to use something more than once. You hate buying things and having it only for one use. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, keep my pancakes warm. So we're going to get started, and I've got a 1/3 cup measure here, and we like our pancakes kind of big. If you like smaller pancakes, by all means use a smaller scooper. A little oblong pancake I got going on. And when you make pancakes, hopefully you're all familiar with it, but if not, if you're not a good pancake maker, what you'll see is the once you put it on, it starts to sizzle, And on the top, you'll know when it's ready to flip because there'll be some bubbles coming up on top. Also, the edges of the pancake are going to look a little bit dull and not as shiny, so that's about the time you want to flip it. So we're going to let it go. It's probably about 2 minutes on one side. We'll flip it over and do it for about a minute on the other side. So we're just going to let these cook. My pan's on about medium-high heat. We want to make sure that we cook it pretty thoroughly because you don't want a goo cake, you want a pancake. All right, well, our pancakes are nice and bubbly on top, look a little dull on the edges, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a flip. Nice and golden brown. Very good. If you're like my dad, you'll want to cook it a little darker until burnt, but we're not like my dad, so we're going to leave it nice and golden brown. And so we'll let this cook again for another minute or so on this other side, and our pancakes will be ready for us to munch. Okay, so our pancakes are just about finished, and yep, lovely golden brown on both sides. And so I'm just going to continue making these pancakes, and I'll join you when I'm all done. All right, so I have a lovely stack of pancakes ready to be eaten. And again, if you have, you know what, if you have all kinds of gadgets in your kitchen that you can only use once for one type of thing, I would definitely try to think of ways, be creative, think of ways to use them more than once. So that's pretty much it for our blueberry pancakes. Hope you enjoyed watching the show. If you'd like to check out the recipe, you can go to veganagogo.com. If you'd like to email us, the email address is fans@veganagogo.com. And again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.